What's going on, chat? Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing? Morning, Ace. Morning, Trading Loft. Sharad. Good morning, DJ, Renee, Pablo, Arch, Shank, Barat, Vimal, G1, Roshan, Miv, Chris. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? All right, we got to start here really quick before the market opens. It's opening about in less than 30 seconds, but let's go through the levels. Just heads up, 2 p.m. today, FOMC, right? Fed Watch is also speaking, so not really expecting that much regarding the price movement, but we'll see what today brings. All right, so let's kind of review what happened in yesterday's session, right? So the key pivot from yesterday was this 7440 to 7444, right? This is where we tried shorting multiple times and um, took an L on it, but then we kind of shifted our bias just due to the fact that the plan was if we start reclaiming this level, right, we would look for a push up, a price retest, which we did, and then we took that trade before we kind of left, and we took that for about, I believe it was like 10 to 15 points, if I'm not mistaken. So in the overnight session, as you can see, right, we kind of left the value area. That's kind of like where your value area low is, and in the overnight session, that's where we kind of bounce, right? So we found support there as well, and then right now at market open, that's going to be the level that we need to keep an eye on. 7438, which is the overnight low, to 7444. All right, that's where we were finding support. That's where we saw a lot of transaction in the morning session. Um, so keep an eye on that. Uh, and then another level that we need to keep an eye on the top side is going to be the supply, right around that 7485 to 7496, which we've got multiple rejections. So clear supply zone there. And in between, right, we have a low volume node, which right now I'm going to remove. So the levels for today is going to be obviously the demand zone that we've had, right? The 7420 to 7415, where we bounced multiple times in the last couple of days. And then the value area low zone from yesterday's session, which as you can see, we're finding support. And then your supply zone here. So anything in between, try not to we're going to label it as a no trade zone, or, unless we see some very aggressive orders that's hitting the tape, which indicates some type of positioning. All right, so keep an eye on that. Um, Again, FOMC today, not really expecting much. There are some news regarding the Iran and U.S. I think Iran did some attack last night, and U.S. as well. So that's probably going to play a big part today. So same thing, right? Just keep your head on the swivel on the news and make sure you guys are staying patient and not trying to kind of FOMO into things. All right. So good luck. Good luck. Let me share because a lot of people, I got a lot of DMs regarding the sign up sheet. So I'm going to pin this again. Today's going to be the last day, probably for the application, probably today or tomorrow. And then I'll start reviewing them, and hopefully we can get the private community open by this weekend. Sign up application. Post it there. I'm gonna pin it. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's start focusing up here. For NASDAQ, if you guys are trading NASDAQ here, keep an eye on the 28,050 to 28,100. That's the level that we need to reclaim. For I would like it to get reclaimed this like before 10:30, right? And if we're able to reclaim that, I'm interested. I'm interested in trying to, play the long, targeting the 28,200 level, which is kind of the overnight high. We'll be using that as a confluence as well. What's everyone watching? Are you guys bullish today? Are you guys bearish? So some buyers here attempting to break above the 7460s. As you can see here, right? Aggressive buyers here, the 60s. Someone says bearish, neutral, bearish. Yeah, it is FOMC today, so don't expect too much, right? Until then, like the morning session is usually a dud until that day, but all right. We're starting to see some buyers here really attempting, right, push price higher, but we're struggling. You can see the delta footprint here is starting to build up. Again, I try not to trade within the first 15 minutes, so I'm just giving you guys kind of a summary or what I'm seeing currently. Just for a broader picture, really quick, all right? Just really quick, so you guys can kind of understand what we've been doing. Look at my chart, guys. Really quick, all right? We are consolidating within this zone, or even you can call it right here, 75 below 7,500. Your top range is 7,500. Your below range is 7,410. Price is currently in between those levels. All right, just understand that. We've been bouncing at this demand zone at 74.10 to 74.20. You're also being suppressed within the supply zone. All right, I think what's the catalyst that we're waiting on where we can potentially get out of this range? Possibly FOMC. Right, possibly FOMC. So thread carefully, and if you're trying to play the range, like the in between range. Currently, the only level that I have in between is this 743.38 to 7444. For right now, currently, that may change if something develops intraday. Yeah, so those 7460s are now stuck, right? Those buyers there at the 7460s are now becoming stuck. Now that's a level that we can keep an eye on. All right, so keep an eye on that so you guys understand. Maybe mark it on your chart why this 7460 is, important currently. I'm gonna mark it here so you guys can see it. Continuing to get rejected there, as you can see on that 60s. We got some passive buyers at 7446, limit orders, 7445, and then 7441. Above, you have 7469 and 7465. Not a huge orders. Did you guys get kicked out of the stream? Yeah, it happened yesterday too. I don't know what's going on. Huh. Okay. I don't know what that was about. The 760 aggressive buyer happened, but price sold off. If we reclaim that, are we going up? We'll see. Right, but that's something that you need to keep an eye on, right? That's an area of interest now. That's also where your high day is, right? And your the top of that orb. If we reclaim that, we want to see how price react. Like if there's going to be aggressive buyers there. Same thing that happened yesterday, right? Same thing that happened yesterday on that 7-4, like this area here that we marked, the 7-4-40 to 7-4-4-4. You still want to wait and see what happens there, right? You got the large order that came in, you push right down, you came up, you tried resisting, right? But then you immediately got that level immediately got reclaimed. So passive buyers at 7449. Not seeing it currently. There are some aggressive buyers just trying to step in here now. Someone got filled there at 7453. So let's see how this reacts now. Is this going to act as a resistance now on the 7460s? If we break right above it, all right, this is the plan. Pay attention. Pay attention. If we break above this, the 7460s, and get rejected, One thing I'm going to keep an eye on is this going to act as support going forward, right? Or are we going to get a little bit of a deeper pullback? If we do, right, this is where we saw some activity, the 7452 to 7454. So that's going to be an area of interest as well. Again, only if we can break above the 7460s and possibly, you know, the 6065s and get rejected there. We want to see a pullback. I want to see a high day break. All right, so 7452 to 7454. That's going to be your area of interest as well, right here. But I need to see a break above the 60s. All right, orb is now formed. 15-minute orb. Now I'm going to start to focus up and see if we can find anything here. Getting a little bit of a push down here. So those trap buyers that came in here, right? They're still trapped. Sellers are continuing to defend that level, right? Now I'm viewing this as aggressive sellers becoming trapped because there's a passive sellers that are defending that price. NQ was a nice look above and fail. I don't really have any levels there, so if you do, then probably, but I didn't see anything. Nasdaq about to make a new low day. Did anyone pull that trigger on that retest off of those trap buyers or potential trap buyers? I didn't pull the trigger. I wanted to see more. I actually wanted to see kind of a sweep above. Yeah, there you go, Prof. Yeah, same thing. I was waiting for a sweep. All right, keep an eye here, guys. 7438 to 7444. That's going to be our area of interest now. So limit order there at 7445, about 168 lots, as you can see here. They just removed some of it. New low day. All right, let's watch it here. We're about to test overnight low. Overnight low on the Nasdaq is still far away, 27,640, while ES is already tapping it. Hindsight, it would have been a beautiful trade, right? Off of those trap buyers right at the open. Watching this closely here. Ooh, sellers are active. Very heavy here, guys. Very heavy. The tape is heavy on sellers. Nasdaq just took out the low. New low. Some liquidity there at 7425. And then some more at 7418. Gonna keep an eye here on the 7438 to 7444. All right, so this zone here. I'm gonna turn this into a different color now. Keep an eye here on this zone. May look for a potential short entry. The thing is, my stop loss, that's something that I need to keep an eye on. I don't know where to put my stop loss yet. What's the fib retracement here? This push 7444. Nothing yet so far. Stay patient, guys. Stay patient. Prior low on ES is sitting at 7417. Aggressive sellers there at the 30s. Now, if you look at the volume profile, right, you're kind of leaving a low volume node here. So this is going to be a good setup, guys. There's going to be a good setup. Keep an eye on this one. Low volume node here between 7438 to 7444. That is considered as a low volume node. So let's see if we can tap yesterday's low. I'm using 150 arch, 150, and it changes based on you know based on the volatility and how the market is transacting orders. More aggressive sellers here. You just filled that 7425 liquidity there. What's MS? I don't know what MS means. $400 lots there at 7424. Now the question is this buyers absorbing those orders? Right, so keep an eye on that. You also have a low volume node, a small low volume node there at the 7430s. I might take a quick stab of short here if I see any indication here for a potential short entry. So watching this here, if I'm short, I would like this to act as a resistance, right? You would want this to act as a resistance, this low volume node here. You're pushing right above it. So no entry for me yet. Again, it's just going to be a quick scalp targeting this liquidity there at 7418. If I take the short, which I may not get an opportunity here. Going to be slightly risky just due to the fact that we already sold off and we might get some type of, relief rally here, a retracement of some sort. Again, I'm not in yet. You'll be able to see it on my screen if I'm in. Starting to reclaim that 7430s. So you got sellers. Keep an eye on this one, guys. You got sellers at the low. Aggressive sellers got filled. Looks like passive buyer defended it. And what's happening right after you getting those big orders? What's happening, guys? Look at the delta profile. Look at the delta profile here. Aggressive buyers are stepping in, right? Protecting. Looks like they're protecting these lows here. This is kind of a bullish sign. This is a reversal type of setup that I'm seeing currently. Am I gonna jump on it right away? Nope. What I want to see now, right? Now that I'm seeing that one piece of information, I want to see a move up, right? An aggressive move up, and then a pullback, right? For me to enter. If you're a, if you're a riskier trader that wants to get in right away, you're more than welcome to, but you got to put a tight stop here. Maybe put your stop at the lows of the 28s, right? Where the buying started. But for me, I'm gonna wait here. I don't know why I'm still bearish. Bulls are not moving. I mean, yes, you are still. I mean, being bearish is still okay. I mean, you have this pressure to the downside. Now you're looking for a retracement to enter, right? For me, theoretically, bears are still in control unless you get above the 74s, 744s, right? But right now, the contacts, what I'm looking, what I'm just talking out loud, right? What I'm seeing currently, what's happening right now, right? I'm seeing sellers being absorbed at the lows, buyers are stepping in, protecting that low, right? That's a piece of information that I can get. If I'm going to look to play the long side here, probably going to target the 44s, right? 40s to 44s. And above the 44s, I think you can see some, you know, some aggressive push up there. This is also considered as a low volume node. This is an area where you could potentially short as well. So I can frame both sides. Raise my volume a notch. I'm not loud enough. I feel like I'm pretty loud. Risky or long, you can take a long now. Risky, again, like I said, it'll be risky. Your stop loss is going to be below the 28s. What I like to see is a push up here. But as you can see now, right? Again, look at the heat map. Aggressive sellers, followed by aggressive buyers stepping in. The 7430s is being defended, right? Those are good signs. But what's happening right now? You're not getting the lift. You're still getting rejected here. I want to see a lift. I want to see trapped sellers. One, we're getting that now. Aggressive buyers. Two, second confirmation. What's the next thing I want to see? I want to see an aggressive push up. I want to see a push up here. And then that pullback, that next pullback we're going to get, that's going to be my entry, that retracement. That to me confirms that, hey, there are trap sellers, aggressive buyers are stepping in, and they're getting rewarded, right? If I see a push up here, that to me is a confirmation that, hey, they are aggressive, they're getting rewarded. Now let's look for a retracement to follow through or to join that long. And if you're short, right, you're looking for a short opportunity or short entry within the zone. This is a low volume node strategy as well. Look at the volume profile here, right? Look at that volume profile. I'm loud and clear, right? All right, so you guys know my plan. Now let me stop rambling here and just try to focus up. I'll let you guys know if I see anything else that stands out. But that's what I'm looking for. Would I also buy a trap seller? Yeah, if there's like right down here. I wouldn't want this level to get revisited. I would not. I think there's a high, if price comes down here, there's a high probability that we're gonna sweep that low. Okay. I've seen this plenty of times. Because usually what I would do is look for an entry on the retest off of this zone. But usually, right? Usually what happens is that they defend that price. If this is a trend direction or a reversal pattern, they would not revisit that level. They would just push up. All right, keep an eye here, guys. You're getting the 40s rejection here. Watching, right? Watching this 30s to 28s. Watching the 30s to 28s for a potential long here. My stop loss is going to be below 28s. Watching this very closely here at the 30s. Keeping an eye on the footprint. Keeping an eye on the heat map. Watching how price react here. Don't like it anymore. See, this is why we wait. This is why we wait. Now we probably have, now this has a high probability of taking out the lows and sweeping the lows here. This was also a beautiful, right, low volume node strategy, like I said earlier, right? This is your bearish thesis here, bearish setup. You got to push down, retest of the low volume node, and got rejected. The reason why I was looking for longs is because of this trapped sellers at the bottom, right? Followed by aggressive buyers. I was looking for a push up, look for a rejection there, which we did, and was looking for the 7430s to 7428s to access support. What happened? We did not find support. Therefore, I did not take the long. So hope that made, you know, the walkthrough is clear on what I'm looking for. Trying to explain it as much as I can before, you know, entering a trade so you guys understand. Now watch this 7430s. If this starts to act as a resistance now, right? This could potentially be an entry short, right? Again, this is going to be a little aggressive. My stop loss will be above the 33s to the 35s, right? As you can see here, aggressive buyers at this level, supported, you push right up and immediately got rejected at the low volume node. And what's happening right now, right? What do we want to see? We want to see price come down, maybe retest that level, then that will be my entry there. If that resists at 7430, I'll look for an entry short, targeting this liquidity here, the 7420 to the 7480 teens. Who's looking for a short at 7442s? Yeah. I actually wanted to see a push above the 40s, right? Above the 40s and possibly test the 44s before getting rejected. Because that was kind of like the midpoint right? As you can see, it's kind of like the midpoint of this low volume node. But if you guys want to, save it, what do you call this? Put this on your notes, right? So you can review later. This is a low volume node strategy. This is a perfect setup, right? This is an A plus setup where you get a push down, creates a low volume node where it retests and then rejects, right? Wow, we have about 59 people watching here currently. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. 2-minute chart. It's on a 2-minute chart. You can see on the top left right here. I know it's probably small, but it's on a 2-minute chart. Come on, can we get a push on the 30s or even the 28s before getting rejected here? Nope, we're gonna get it. There's the push down, followed by aggressive sellers. That's what you want to see, right? Aggressive sellers, aggressive sellers. I don't know. Are we being too conservative with our levels? Was asking for a 7430 retest too much? I don't know. Regular trading hours, RTH, Christine. So I don't typically use overnight volume profile. Just because it's low volume, right? So it's for me it doesn't help me much. RTH has the most volume, so two entries that we could have, or three actually, three entries, potential entries for a short. The potential trap buyers at the high here, where we got multiple tests, did not take the trade because it was before 9:45. Second one was the 7/430s, right? And if you were bearish as well, right, the low volume no rejection. Reason why I didn't enter this trade because I was actually looking for a long. Continuing to be patient. But do you see what I mean? For someone that was asking, if do I look for an entry off of this absorption here on a retest? For me, just based on this setup, right, where you got sellers, potential trap sellers, followed by aggressive buyers, I don't typically put my entry here because that to me is bearish, right? If you start to revisit this level, to me that's bearish because then you're putting these aggressive buyers trapped, right? You're putting them in pain. So that's the reason why I wasn't looking for an entry here. Now, am I still looking for a short? Um, I don't think so. I'll need some type of retracement here. But now I'm going to be paying attention to the 30s, right? If the 30s, if we reclaim that, I'll be interested for potentially reversing this, right? But as long as we're below the 7/430s, I think we got more downside here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll watch the order flow. Potential trap buyers there again at 7415s. Again, playing the short. Remember my rule. That's why we have these predetermined levels. Playing the short inside a demand zone to me is a low probability. Okay? You can scalp it, it may work, good for you, right? For me, I am actually looking for a potential reversal here. If you're looking to short, be very, very careful, right? Maybe just look for scalps in and out. But the probability of having a continuation inside a demand zone is for me it's low. This is still considered as a low volume node, by the way. I'm going to put it here. Yep, we have FOMC at 2 p.m. and then earnings. I think the big ones, Apple and Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, is tomorrow. I think today is Microsoft. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. 420 is also a low volume node. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is also a low volume node. Or ma'am. Apologize if I'm. But yeah, that is considered as a low volume node as well. And that's also where your developing value area low for the session is. Thanks, Mib. So Microsoft, Meta, Hood, ARM, Qualcomm tonight. And then Apple and Amazon tomorrow. All right. Trump just tweeted something. He said, "We're going to beat the FS out of Iran." Rog, why didn't I short on the above low volume node? I explained it earlier, just due to the fact that at this moment, right, when we were trading like this, I was viewing this as an seller's absorption followed by an aggressive buyer, right? I was looking for a push up into the low volume node where it gets rejected, and a retest where this 7430 acts as support for an upside continuation. I also presented this low volume node setup if you guys are bearish. For me, I wasn't looking for a rejection there, to be honest. So again, just be careful. If we do get into a position here, just be careful, right? Trump might say something, tweet something, anytime from now until later. The 23s, let's look at that, Rashawn. Could be a possibility. That's your prior low too. So your prior low right now is currently acting as a resistance. You do have some sellers there, right? So based on the heat map, right, you found a resistance there at 7426 to 7428, where you got that push down. So a valid stop loss, if you're looking to play the short, it has to be wide, right? For me, to be honest, having a stop loss of 7430 is reasonable, right? Short is valid as long as you trade below that 7430. So anywhere, an entry anywhere here is a good entry for me, right? Above 7420, so probably 7420 to 7426. So maybe size down, right? And have a wider stop loss. Today, it's reasonable to have a wider stop loss, yes, just due to the volatility that we're having right now currently. Again, I adjust my risk is always the same, right? So I'm always risking about $150 to $200. So, and it's always fixed. So I'm going to be adjusting my position sizing based on that. So, for example, if I have a wider stop loss, right, I'll size down. But if I have a tighter stop loss, I'll size up. Right, I'll put in my regular size. All right, so aggressive sellers here at the 7419, followed by an aggressive buyer stepping in here, kind of struggling. We're getting a little bit of a push here now. So again, keeping an eye if we can spot some aggressive sellers here, I might jump in with my stop loss being above the 7430s. Again, it's going to be a lower probability just due to the fact that we're inside the demand zone. Buyers are really attempting here, guys. They're really trying here. There you go. Rejection there. They really attempted there, as you can see. Aggressive buys. Tried multiple times. Now they're getting absorbed. NASDAQ still did not take out prior lows, by the way. I think it's about to right now. Yeah, 2 points away. I think we might get that 7,400. More aggressive sellers stepping in. Yeah, we might tap that 7,400 here, guys. Yep, 7,400 tap. Keeping a very close eye here. Just another one, 300 lots got filled there at 7,398. I'm gonna size down here. I'm probably my positioning today is gonna be 3 micros for MES. 3 micros. Um, if I get a good confirmation, I may add to the position, but I'm gonna start with 3 micros here. Stop loss is probably gonna be between 7 to 10 points. Three minutes until the initial balance is formed as well. Give me 1 second, Shay. I'm trying to focus up here. I'll answer that in a little bit. Seeing some buyers here attempting at the 74.05. So this is kind of the same setup that we saw here, right? Look at the chart. It's kind of the same setup that we're seeing here, where we got aggressive sellers at the low. Now I'm starting to see that 74.05, some aggressive buyers stepping in. Again, the trend is down. Playing the counter trend is going to be very risky. So that's why I'm having a 7 to 10 point stop and wider stop here. So we got one piece of information, which is the absorption at the low, right? And then we're seeing some, right, aggressiveness here at the 74.05. Less than 30 seconds until the initial balance is formed. B is now formed. If I take this long, I'm probably going to target the 15s to the 20s. Finger on the trigger here. Am I going to miss this? I'm gonna miss this entry, aren't I? Some large aggressive buys there on the Nasdaq at the prior low, 27,603, and currently getting a little bit of rejection there. That's the reason why I'm kind of not pressing the buy trigger here on ES. I kind of want to see that get reclaimed. I'm in here, guys. Again, stop loss is going to be below 74.03. I'm looking for a 74.17 to 74.20 target first. And if we start to get above that, we're probably going to be able to get that. My next target is probably going to be the 74.24 to 74.28. I'm going to try it here. Watching the 17s and the 20s, right? This is where we saw the absorption there, and that's also where your low volume node is sitting at. Overnight low on Nasdaq is currently getting rejected there. Pulling back here. $74.05 continue to act as support there currently. But I think we need to see some aggressiveness at the 7415s to 20s. Well, first the 7415s. If we can get above that, the next wave of buyers should step in at 7420s. Testing the 7405s. We kind of need to hold here now. I think below 7405 will probably take out. We'll probably make a new low. Can we get a lift here? Need to get aggressive here. Got to get above the. Got really got to get above the 15s now. We got to get a push up here. Again, if we get a push up on the 15s, right? You want to see aggressiveness. You want to see buyers stepping in. If they don't, we're probably going to get rejected there. Very unusual that the market even moves before Fed. Well, because of Trump, right? Trump moves the market too. Might get stopped out here. This 7405 needs to act as support, continue to act as support. But again, we also need to start pushing here. Come on, market. Let's get a little bit of lift here. We're trying to step in here, but again, we can't get too excited unless the 7415 gets broken. Can't get too excited until that level is broken. Closing in on our stop loss. We're probably gonna get taken out. All right, got taken out there. Again, small size. Stop loss hit. We're probably gonna come take out this new low. I think the entry down that I'm looking at for a potential long is gonna be maybe a sweep of the low, right? We sweep the 7400 again and immediately get traded back above. And if I see some very aggressive activity, I'm gonna try it again for a long. More aggressive sellers here stepping in. I'm gonna remove this now, this demand zone that we have since it's invalidated. And I'm gonna add this low volume node here because this could potentially be our target if we want to play the long side here. I might try this again, guys. Right, you sweep the low with aggressive sellers here and immediately gets traded back above the 7400s. Yeah, 27,600 on the Nasdaq. That's gonna be my level as well. Think above that, if we can sustain value above there, that's also your prior low. I think that's a good indication that we might see a reversal. But for right now, I already tried, right? I tried at this 74.05 bounce where we were supported, took the long, and then we started to find resistance there at the tens, and we finally broke below that 74.05, which stopped me out. Um, Not an A plus setup, but it was a good risk to reward there. That's why I kind of sized down, right? 1,000 lots sitting at 7399. 1,000 lots. Sell limit orders. Spoofed it. They removed the order. Very tough market so far. Uh, um, yes and no. I think we just missed our entries on the shorts, right? We tried looking for a short at the 730, 7430s. We missed. We tried looking for a short at the 7420s again, right? For a retest. We missed that entry. And now I tried looking for a long based on this seller's absorption there. Took an L, so I'm looking. I think we can find one more trade here. Based on order flow, it was pretty easy to read. It's just that the retracements are not, or our levels are very conservative. Like we were looking for like deep retracements, right? Still think guys back. I don't really have any levels below 7,400, guys. I don't. I don't know if Mib has one, but I really don't. I think you're gonna have to look back a couple months back. But I'm gonna make this level 7417 to 7420 or 74, yeah, 21. I'm gonna use that as a target. It's very far now, like 50 points. Yeah. Watching it here, guys, again, right? Sellers attempted here once, twice, three times. So I think the 70, so this is going to be my entry here between 73.99 to 7400, right? I would like this level to be supported on pullbacks now. So even if we get a push here, maybe at 7405 to 7410 where it gets rejected, I would like this level to act as support now. And if it does, I'll look for an entry there, entry long. That is the only way I'm going to take a long here is if, again, is if this 73.99 to 7400 is supported and we don't take the new low day. If we take the low day today, 7393, then that trade is invalidated. The only reason why I'm looking for longs here is because, I mean, we haven't had a good retracement here. I mean, this is a good retracement here. We push down, retracement, push down, retracement. Are we going to get another low here? Or is this going to change? So like I said, I want to see some type of, support being formed here. Get above the 7400, right? Push up, maybe take out the previous pivot low highs, comes down where it's supported. That's going to be my entry there. No, I can't long. I can't long here. I already tried long. Like I said, I need to see some type of change in the price structure. Right now, we're just creating a lower low, higher low. I mean, a lower high and lower low. Nasdaq is actually looking good too. Be careful in trying to buy this dip, guys. All right, just for me again, I need to see even a break above 74.10, right? Maybe a break above 74.10. Jeez, look at these aggressive sellers, guys. My goodness. 7400. Look at the buildup here. Negative delta here. About 800. That's gonna be a level for me. I might take this trade. I'm in. I'm in, guys. Putting my stop loss below 73.98. Risky trade just due to the fact that we got those um, sellers got absorbed, looking for a 74.15 to 74.20 target here. Again, risky trade. If 27,600 can get reclaimed on Nasdaq, this could we could see some movement here. Getting a little bit of a push here now. Sellers got filled there at the 74.10 again. That level needs to break. That level needs to break. Again, still size small. I only grabbed three micros here. Risking about 7 points to make 15 to 20 points here. A lot of orders here happening. Holy moly. I don't know what's going on. Lots of orders. As you can see, delta's built, negative delta building up. If 74.10s and 74.15s get taken out, I think we can see some movements here. Otherwise, I think this is going to be a dud. Need to get above the 15s, 10s to 15s. 27,600 on the Nasdaq, rejected again. Watching the 7,400. Price needs to get supported above this level for this thesis to play out. All right, that's where we saw those orders at 74, above 7,400. That's where it started. Nasdaq really needs to get above the 27,600. Struggling still. Getting another pullback here. This needs to get supported or else we're going to get stopped out here. Can we get above 76, 74.10? Might get stopped out here again. Come on, let's lift. Lift, lift, lift. Gotta get above 74.10. Come on. I also took a long there on the Nasdaq, by the way. I just got out from 27,560 to 27,600. I'm still in the, what do you call that? ES long here, but gotta get above the 74.10. Come on, let's get a push. I think we can see some pretty aggressive move here if we can get above the 74.10s to 15s. Like if we can get above these levels here, I think we might see some aggressive move. Maybe we can get a quick move to that 74.20s. But again, gotta get above the 10s. We don't want that aggressive buyer to get trapped. No, we don't want that. Right here, look. Aggressive buyers came in and immediately got rejected. We don't want to see that. Ay, ay, ay. What we want to see for price continuation is aggressive buyers stepping in and just moving up, right? Continuing its upside, not this. That means there's a passive seller that's sitting here. Appreciate it, Kenpo. Come on. Passive buyer sitting at 74.05 now. Limit buys. Come on. Let's break the 10s. We gotta break the 10s here. Someone play this song. You gotta pump it up. You gotta pump it up. You gotta pump it up. Bump it up to 74.10. Here's a 74.10. Gotta get above here, guys. Gotta get above here, or else it's gonna be an ugly rejection. Limit order is sitting at 74.06 again. Someone who has a live account just hit market order buy so we can push price higher for us, please. Thanks. Not financial advice. All right, we're up about 5 points here. Just go. Let's get to 7415s in the 20s. Just did. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. More. Really gotta reclaim this 7410s. Some passive buyers here trying to absorb this sell orders here around that 7406, 7407. They're trying, kind of failing right now. Thank you. Rejecting overnight low. Yeah, it is. Watching Nasdaq if it can hold above 27,600. If we can start getting supported here, I think we move higher. Come on, ES, get above. Just go for it. Break that 74 tenths and then aggressive buyers just step in. Back in the greens here on ES, guys. But again, I still need to see 7-4-10 get taken out. I know I sound like a broken record, but we really got to get above there. Here's the 74-10 again. Come on, let's break. Up 5 points here, guys. Aggressive buyers are trying here, but again, is this going to get slapped? Or are they going to continue higher here? Here, see? Aggressive buyers followed by aggressive sellers pushing price. Just really struggling here. I wouldn't be too mad if you guys just take some profits here for a quick scalp. Not even for, actually, we've been in this trade for a long time. Jeez, just struggling. Let's go. Let's see how price react at this 74.15s, guys. Come on, push, 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 push. Are we going to be in this trade until FOMC? My gosh. Yeah, she's really struggling. She really can't sustain value above that 74.10. Here's another aggressive seller trying to push price down, kind of getting absorbed at the same level, right? 74.02, as you can see here. Buyers exhausted. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it because they're really trying to get active here at the 74.10s, but at the same time they're absorbing orders right below. So I wouldn't say that they're exhausted. They're really trying here. That's the only reason why I'm holding this trade. If anything, I'm looking for sellers to get exhausted here. DK. Right? Are they gonna run out of ammo? Are they gonna be like, hey? Are they gonna finally? Because you seeing these negative delta built up, right? Despite these negative delta built up, right? We have not gone anywhere. Price is not pushed down. This to me uh, this to me is saying that hey, there are passive buyers that are trying to hold price up. Just waiting here, guys. Either I get stopped at or it takes my take profit. But right now, currently, the 74.10s continue to be a pain in the butt. So going forward, right, that's going to be our level of area of interest. If you want to be a bull, I think we need to get above that level, right? I think it's safe to say that if we reclaim the 74.10, then longs are welcome. Alexa, stop. Again, I already tried the long earlier, right, at the 74, same level, around 74.05 to 74.10. I tried a long there, got stopped out. This is my second try trying along this at the same around the same area. Usually my DLL is 3 trades. 3 losing trades, I'm out. This is my second trade. So I have one more try. After this, if this fails. Back at break even again. All right, just wake me up, guys, when it gets above 74.10, please. Another rejection there, the tens. And there's a passive seller just sitting there, just absorbing those orders. Every time we try, we push up, push up, push up, push up, reject it, reject it. We get a push down around the 7,400, supported, 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 supported. So that's kind of your range right now. 7,410 to 7,400. Unless, let's see what breaks first. Hopefully the first break isn't a fake out, right? Hopefully we get a continuation on this break. Patience, break your first. You and me, bud. You and me. Oh my God. Market is really testing my patience today. This 7,410 is testing my patience today. At this point, just stop me out. To be honest, just stop me out. I don't even want to be in this trade anymore. Just stop me out. I'll take the L for today. Testing 7,400. Anybody else in this trade with me? What's everyone's entry if you are? Jeez. Watching until FOMC? Smart. I mean, if it wasn't in a trade, I'd be heading out right now and just coming back for FOMC, but look at me, I'm in a trade. It will hit stop loss. Price is going down. I mean, at this point, like I said, I wish it will hit my stop loss so we can be done with this trade. And we're gonna go up here just to play with us. We're gonna go back to 74.10 and then rejects again. How many screens do I use? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Four screens. All right, here we are again, back at break even. All right, any questions that you guys may have since we're just waiting for this trade to either stop us out or brings us in the green for today? Any questions? Waiting for community opening? Yes, sir. So look out for emails. Invite. I'm gonna be sending the invites through emails, the ones that you guys provided, sometime either Friday or Thursday or Friday. So tomorrow or Friday. Latest is this weekend. And you're gonna go through a verification through Discord, right? So there's gonna be multiple security thing that you have to go through because I don't want to just want to make sure that you guys are real, that you guys are, not bots because I don't want bots in the server. So I'm only there. We already have about that's a lot. Geez, we had about 62 signups, or the one that filled the form. I'm only going to be accepting 50. And then we'll see how that goes in the next, in the next 3 months. And if things goes well, then we'll accept another batch. Again, it's a free Discord. I'm not charging anything. Are you fundamentally bearish or bullish? Depends. If the Fed hikes, I'm bearish. And if they don't this session and they wait until next meeting, then I'm bullish. but I'm not, again, I'm not expecting a lot this year, to be honest. I'm gonna wait until I haven't added into my long-term portfolio since, geez, I think March of this year, February, March of this year. So I'm just accumulating capital. I'll reassess after quarter four. I want to see how everything looks. Just fill out the form, Pablo, and I'll base it on that. And then I'm also watching the chat if you're active here, um, and if you're joining the stream on a day-to-day basis, right? Because I'm looking for active traders that can benefit the community and grow the community with me. No, just if you have work, obviously, right? I'm not gonna force you, but as long as you're active here, active within the community, and not just I'm not this is not a 9 to 5 job, just be active, like whenever you can, just engage, help out traders. If you're new, just make sure you're finding ways to improve with your trading, being with the community. Start taking attendance. Oh my gosh, just stop me out, please. Just get me out of this trade. Two begs for losses. I mean, at this point, we're wasting time, right? We're just consolidating. Aggressive buyers are trying here. About 200 lots just got filled there. Same thing with the Nasdaq. About 97 lots got filled there. That's my order. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yes, sure. That's the plan. So that's gonna be in the Discord. Um, I'm probably gonna do that once a week, right? We're gonna have a selective few in the Discord, and we're gonna trade live together, and just have the voice on. So instead of typing, we can just talk. That's a good idea. Yep. I think that's gonna be fun. All right, I'm gonna give this until 11:45. If we don't get a move here, guys, just know that my stop loss. I mean, as always, like I'm very transparent with my position. You know where my stop loss is. You know where my take profit is. Again, if we can't break, if we test the 7415, right, and if we can't break that, I might just exit out. But if we get above 7410, if 7455 breaks, I think it's going to be a quick move into that 7420s, and I may even move that take profit area, take profit area for me to probably the 7428 to 7430, right? But again, I'm gonna give this until maybe 15 more minutes. I don't want to leave. I hate leaving the stream when we're in the position. So DT, I asked you what you call aggressive buyer. Can you please answer? Aggressive buyers are basically orders that are hitting the ask, right? Or hitting the bid. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm in a NQ trade. This is crazy. Look at that rejection there. Again. All right. I think this is where we get stopped out. Aggressive. So okay. What was your question again? Sorry, I was distracted. I asked you what you call aggressive buyers. So you see these blue bubbles, right? Blue bubbles here, blue bubbles there. That just means that our orders hitting the ask or hitting the offer, right? So if price is down here, right, and you have for example, we're right here right now, and there's a liquidity here. If price comes up there and hits that order, right, and forms a blue bubble, right, that means that order hits the ask or hits the offer. So that is considered an aggressive buyer. Trading guards on right. Oh my gosh. This is painful. This is really painful. And the thing is, so the thing is, if I exit at break even, right, which I'm kind of thinking about, if I exit at break even and if price rockets to our price target, that's going to mess with me mentally, right? That's going to mess with me mentally. And the next trade I'm going to take, that's going to play a big part. So that's what I'm trying not to do. Yes. So these two are both Motivewave. And I think in the next few months or in the next few weeks, I'm gonna start playing with deep charts and see how it is. This is so painful. Yeah, it is. It is. The settings is just different, Leo. Right, so here, because I want to see all the mostly all the orders, so my limit bubbles here is 40. Right, and then I change the color like to blue or cyan color. Uh, any orders that are above 100. In here, I don't want to view it here. I think we're gonna stop out here. I don't want to view all the bubbles here, right? Because I want to see the structure. I want to see how the candlestick forms. So I want to see the structure. Thank you. Stopped out. All right, guys, 2 trades. I have one more trade, and I think I'm going to save that for later, possibly FOMC. But red day for me. I just hated that chop. So for later on, I don't. It's going to be the 74.10, right? I think if we can get above this level and sustain, I think we got more room to the upside. But other than that, try to be careful in trying to catch a falling knife here, right? We've already tried that multiple times, and as you can see, we failed. So as long as prices sustain below the 74.10, I think we head lower. But if you're looking to trade the FOMC, be careful, size small. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning. As always, have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.